Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Club Junkie podcast. Hopefully, you're having a great week. It's Thursday. We're almost there. For me, super excited. Got some ton of golf lined up here in the next 3 days, so I'm ecstatic. Before we get into today's show, just want to let you know this episode brought to you by Titleist. And, nothing will do more to improve your driver performance than getting fit by an authorized Titleist fitting specialist. With outstanding featured shafts and new premium partnership with Graphite Design, we have all the tools to get your game dialed. Visit Titleist.com to learn more about the TSI drivers and to schedule a fitting today. So, yeah, check it out. I mean, the Titleist fitting stuff is pretty cool. I went and did a show on it a while ago. I did my Vokey SM8 wedges through there. It was a great time. Hit outside, short game area, hit out of a trap, all that. Worked with one of the Titleist fitting specialists, and it was a blast, man. I had a great time. So it's fun. You get fit into the right product, and everything ends up being hunky dory. But another week here. Just got done with the Rocket Mortgage last week. It was cool to see Tony Finau win. Was back-to-back champion, first time in like 5 years, something like that, which is pretty crazy. But cool to see him win, kind of a big-name guy to win in a venue like Detroit. That's always pretty cool to see. I was out there. What did I say last week? I was out there Monday and Wednesday. So I was out there both days, hanging out, seeing some people that I haven't seen in a while, and just checking out, the event, the course, all that, hanging out in some tour trucks, all that jazz. So it was great to do all that kind of stuff. And, like I said, I was there Wednesday, it started raining, so I kind of took off a little earlier than I probably normally would have. But it was overall a good time. It's always fun to have an event back in Detroit. Like I said, I think I told the story. I was a big fan of, there was a place called Warwick Hills when the Buick Open was here, which was awesome. A buddy of mine and I used to go all the time. We'd get, pay for some cheap parking. We had some friends who worked at the event, and they would get us, free tickets. They'd get us wristbands into some of the tents. And it was just cool. We could walk around, check everybody out, and just hang out, and it was always a great time. And I missed doing that. When that went away, when that left, when that was done, it was a while before we got a tournament back here again, and it was so it's always exciting. Get to go out there, and that course. I know it's not tough, and the winning scores are super low, but I mean it's a course that's kind of packed into the city of Detroit. Like there's not tons of land there for them to put some crazy long huge course, and it's kind of old school. It's got some cool highly undulated greens, all that. But it was a good tournament. I enjoyed it. Like I said, there Monday, just handling the tour truck, seeing everybody, and then Wednesday I was there kind of checking out the PXG thing. PXG was partnered up with I can't remember the organization's name, but a Detroit organization that is kind of focused on kids with engineering sciences, things like that, just educational, getting kids interested, and they were kind of teaching them a lot of the engineering side of how golf works, when it comes to launch monitor, smash factor, putting, in terms of face angles and stuff like that, and how those type of engineering skills and all that related to golf. And a lot of the kids weren't golfers. I think only a couple of them had ever hit golf balls before or played the game. But it was pretty interesting to see at first kind of the kids kind of going, yeah, I don't know how this relates, to all of a sudden go, wow, that's it's kind of cool. And you could see kind of like the eyes open up, like, oh, I get it, like as they started putting the pieces together. So it was pretty cool to see, and just one of the few, or one of the many things that golf brings to the cities that they have tournaments in. Because I know that's just PXG and Detroit schools and all that, and then I mean there's tons of other charitable organizations and other things like that are doing tons for the city, and there's a lot of money generated, and then that money goes to good places, and it's pretty nice to have all that stuff to go along with just having a golf tournament that you can go out, watch, have fun, and enjoy just hanging out. So yeah, it was there. It was fun, and then we're gonna do this weekend. I did play over the weekend. I went down to my parents' place. Unfortunately, we were kind of late getting a tee time, so we kind of waited to the last minute, which is unfortunate. And nowadays, you just can't do that. At least in Metro Detroit, you just cannot wait till the last minute to book a tee time. So we only played 9 holes. My brother and I. My dad unfortunately ran into somebody in his league had COVID, and he got exposed. So he was not around. He went home while we all came down to the cottage. He went back to his actual house, and then we played 9 holes. Played the back 9 at Old Bella Vista, and just kind of trying to get warmed up for what is this weekend's the Sragwa, as we call it. And it's a kind of a bad acronym of SRAGGW, and it just doesn't it doesn't flow great off the tongue. But we went there, played 9 holes, played the back 9. And kind of, there was no one around us. Like, we played, I mean, there was nobody behind us, nobody in front of us. We teed off at 7, and we would drop a second ball. We'd play. We just kind of like, I wasn't even keeping score. I was kind of just hitting different shots, taking a few extra putts, hitting a few extra chips or whatever, just kind of playing, just kind of practicing, just messing around, and it was fun. And then we got done, hit the range a little bit, hit some balls in the range, and then went over to the short game area and probably spent a good 40 minutes there hitting all sorts of shots. The Bella Vista has actually a really nice kind of short game area that nobody ever uses. It's always pretty dead. I mean, there's always big balls on the green where it looks like somebody was hitting balls there, but you never see anybody there. And so we went over there for probably like 45 minutes and just hitting different wedge shots. And I think you can go back like 30 yards of fairway and then get into the rough. And then there's another section of fairway on the side of the green that you can kind of chip from. And then they have a huge bunker that goes along the whole backside of the green. So just hitting all sorts of shots. And just trying to get tuned up for what is my main event of golf this year, which is my Sragwa event, which is 16 guys this year going to Garland, playing some and playing our basically our kind of mini Ryder Cup match. So we do kind of a little Ryder Cup thing. Got 8 and 8, 2 teams. We had the draft a few weeks ago. Like I said, I think on another show, we had our draft a few weeks ago or 3 months ago. And now it's time. So Friday, 10 a.m., tee off, and we got 90 holes. So we go 36, 36, 18, head home. There's a few guys going up today. Actually, half the group is going up today to go play 36 today, and then they'll play 36, 36. So they're playing 36 for 3 days straight, and then 18, and then heading home. So it is a lot of golf, but it's a ton of fun. And it actually doesn't wear on you. Like I've talked about it with people, and people say, yeah, it's too much golf. I can never play that. That's just whatever. And it actually isn't that bad. Like, it kind of goes by. It doesn't beat you up as bad as you think it would. For me, the worst part is like kind of my hands. Like, my hands get a little raw from hitting that many balls, 36 in a day, and plus a little bit of range time or whatever. So, but the back and everything like that typically holds up pretty well. And, you're kind of, you're not like, I mean, you're grinding a little bit. I mean, you want to win some points, but it's not such a bad grind that you're just, killing yourself mentally over it. And then you get done, you have a couple beverages with the boys and go to bed, get up and do it all over again. So it's going to be a good time. Super excited. I'm putting my bag together, or as I should say, my bags. So every year I catch flack from all the guys in the group because I bring up 2 full sets of clubs. And you just never know. I mean, if you're not playing well, if you go out Monday or Friday morning, things don't go great, maybe you need to toss something else in the bag. When maybe it's just a driver, maybe it's just a putter, something like that. Or, I mean, if the things really, things are really off the rails, hey man, maybe you just grab the second bag, you throw it on the back of the cart, and you go. So I have done that before. I've brought full bags every year. I rarely do the full bag swap. Usually it's just a driver, just a putter or something, just a piece here and there. One time I did do the full bag in the afternoon. I think it was on Saturday, though. I think we went out, played. I think I played awful, threw the full bag, didn't play any better, went back to the original bag on Sunday and played decent. So we'll see what happens this week. But trying to put the bags together, it's interesting. Because you're trying to put together your gamer, and then, like I said, the backup, you're trying to kind of make it maybe a little different, and that's where I'm kind of running into, what do I want to do with my bag? So I've got 3 sets of irons that I've got kind of in rotation right now, and that would be my TaylorMade P770s, the Titleist T100s, and then the PXG 0311 Gen 5 Ts. So I've got 3 different sets that I'm kind of playing a little bit all year, and I was hitting the T100s really, really well, and then I wanted to pull the shafts out of them. I just, the Modus Tour 120X has just never been, the 120 has never really been my shaft in terms of consistency, because I typically like the 115, something with a little stiffer handle section. And I was hitting them okay, but I went and actually put in the Fujikura Pro 115s that I had those shafts in now. Like, the thing, this is the 3rd set of irons, and for whatever reason, like, they just don't. I don't know. They're just not working as well. I don't know if it's a weight thing or whatever. So they're a little bit on the outs at the moment. The P770s are always good. They're the most kind of forgiving iron that I typically have had in the rotation. And then the the PXGs have kind of been in between, but I just haven't played the PXGs as much. So that's the big thing. I think I'm going to bring. So originally I was going to bring down the Gen 5 Ts and the T100s, but then I was like, you know what? I'm bringing down two tour irons. Why? I mean, I really need to bring the P770s for something a little more forgiving, a little easier to hit, a little longer, in case I need it. So I think I'm going to go P770s, and I might go PXG Gen 5s. I might go the Gen 5s, the Gen 5 Ts. As the two sets of irons, the gamer set right out of the gate would probably be the PXGs. Driver is going to be my Stealth Plus, which I've been absolutely murdering. I put a new shaft in it. I unfortunately can't talk about that shaft until next week. Next week I'll be able to chat about it. But I was able to get my hands on a shaft that will be coming out next week, and it's been really good matched up with his head. When I went and played, I don't know if I talked about it, but I think I said I went and played Dearborn the Sunday before the Rocket, so last week, and I played. I mean, I haven't drove the ball. I haven't drove the ball that well in forever. This year for sure, I haven't drove the ball that well at all. Hit some absolute bombs, all that. So Stealth Plus with the new shaft is going to be the gamer. That's going to be the gamer. The 3-wood is probably going to be my Sim 2 Max with the Fujikura Speeder NX. That has just been really good. When I played it on Sunday, we played 15 on Bella Vista, the par 5. I hit a decent drive, but I mean, I can't fade the ball. I hit it either straight or it goes a little left. I typically don't hit it too much right, and I hit a good drive, but I was out in the fairway, and I was back a ways because it's a big dog leg right. I think I had 245 into the green, and I had a pretty clear look. There's one big tree that kind of sits almost in the fairway on the hole, but for me, I could go just right. I could go right of it and still hit the green. So hit a great 3-wood, and it basically was on the rough, just short of pin high. It was kind of in the front of the green on the rough. I would have made it onto the green had I hit it just a hair left, but it was on the green there. I hit it decent off the tee, and right now it's probably my most consistent 3-wood. So I think I'm going to go that with the 3-wood. And then the backup there is going to be a little kind of magic 3-wood. I'm going to hit it tonight at League. I have not hit it yet, so I've got a 3-wood I have not hit yet. One, I'm waiting for a shaft for it, and then two, the shaft I want is on back order, so I just don't have one. But I threw a Ventus Red in there that I had in another 3-wood, and it is basically a tour issue Rogue LS 3-wood that has the adjustable hosel on it. So tour issue adjustable hosel should be pretty low spin. I've got that, but I've never hit it, so I don't want to just bring it to this outing that I've never hit it, and you know, if it doesn't work, then I'm really SOL. So I'm going to bring it. I'm going to hit it tonight in my league. Then I'll have a little better idea if it's going in the bag or not for the outing. But right now, the Sim 2 Max will probably be the starter. And then I'm going to bring down a hybrid and my 7-wood. I think the 7-wood will go in the bag right out of the gate. The problem is, like, with these courses, I just don't know. Like when I go play, like Bella Vista, like the 7-wood isn't really needed. The few shots that you would have into the green from that distance, the couple holes, you're probably not going to take that shot on. So that course, I typically use hybrid a little more, and then off the tee, hybrid goes just a little bit longer, flies a little bit flatter, it hits, gets a little bit of roll. So I don't typically use the 7-wood at Bella Vista, where when I bring it to St. Clair Shores, I use it a lot. So it depends. I don't know what I'm going to use. I think I'm going to go with the 7-wood right out of the gate, though. But I'm going to have the Cobra King Tech hybrid with the Ventus Blue HB, the 8X. I think I'll bring that as well as kind of the alternate club. If I look at the course and if I can make a decision on it, I may throw that in the bag if I need to hit a couple more shots off the tee. Like I'm thinking the course up at Garland, there's a course called Monarch that's super narrow, super tight. You don't really, I think, need to hit a ton of drivers, and so I think I might bring that up there to hit, just because it'll go a little farther. It'll get a little more roll when I get it onto the when it hits the turf. So gonna bring that. 4-iron is gonna be the Tour Edge Exotics, the C722 Thai Utility. That thing has been kind of my go-to between that and the Mizuno Fly High. The Mizuno I just don't hit off the turf well. It's just, I think it's super long heel to toe. And then the soles just, they're about the same width, but the length, heel to toe, I just don't hit it off the, I just don't hit it off the turf well. So off the tee, it's an absolute cannon. But if I have to hit something off the turf from that like 200 yards, 4-iron for me, the tie utility, I just hit it better. And I think it's just a little more compact. It's still crazy long. It's got that titanium face. I think when I was messing around with Arcos a little bit, I hit it off the tee a couple different holes at St. Clair Shores, and I was hitting like 220, 225 off the tee. So if I need to hit something, kind of long and whatever, I mean, I have that, and then I have, a hybrid or 7-wood. But 7-wood I think will go in the bag, and then the tie utility. And then I'll probably go for the irons 5 through wedge of the PXG Gen 5s. The tees, I have the 4-iron that's a P. That's pretty good, and I've hit it pretty solid. I just don't know if it's necessarily as long as the tie utility. So I'm going to go with tie utility. They're probably pretty interchangeable in terms of how far they go, but I'm going to go that. But I think I'm going to start with the Gen 5s. And the only reason I'm going to say that over, say, the T100s is the faces are a little hotter. They're a little bit longer than the T100s. The Gen 5s are. And they're a little more forgiving in terms of being multi-material and having all the foam in it and all that stuff. I think they're a little more forgiving. So I'm going to go those. And then when I get to wedges, it's going to be my SM8 50 degree. So my SM8 12 F grind. So the high bounce 50. And then the SM9 54D grind will be the sand wedge. And then the lob wedge is the other one where I'm kind of torn. Do I go with the 60 T grind that I've been kind of playing a little bit with, but there's been times when I've hit it really well and then times when I've been a little erratic with it. Do I go that, or do I go the Sugar Daddy 2 58 degree that I was working at the short game area with, and I got, after you get in a little bit of a groove, was hitting it really well. So that part, I don't know. I think I'm going to put the T grind in right out of the gate. If it's really soft up there, which it probably rained today up there, so I don't know how soft it's going to be. If it's really soft, I'll go the 58 just because that 58 Sugar Daddy 2 has just far more bounce. So I'll probably go that. And then gamer putter is going to be Bettinardi BB8W. I bought a grip to put on it. I was going to stray away from the Lambkin Deep Edge. I was going to stray away and put on a Super Stroke Pistol GT 1.0. I like the shape of the pistol grips, especially from Super Stroke. So I was going to put that on to try to take away a little bit of that like right hand yippiness that I can get. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to mess it. Like when I put it on the ground, that thing just feels really good. So that's going to be the gamer, and then the backup is going to be the PXG Bat Attack. So a little different putter. I was going between that and the Lab Mez 1, and both of them I putted really well with. The Bat Attack I've just putted better with more recently, I think. I've had a couple good rounds with it. It's super heavy. I think that head's like 370 some grams. It's got the same Lambkin grip on it, Fujikura MC115, just like the Bettinardi. It's just got the extra stiff one in there. And I putted really well with it. And then I thought maybe, well, do I put the Super Stroke grip on there? But that one, I don't get as yippy. I think the head, just the head weight keeps it from being kind of as yippy as the other one. So that'll be there. Those are the two. And then the driver, like I said, I'm going to game my Stealth Plus with the shaft I can't talk about. And then I'm debating, do I bring down... again, shout out to Johnny Wonder. I got a Rogue ST Max LST head, so tour head. It's got a little different shaping to it. Do I bring that as my kind of my backup, or do I go really forgiving and bring the PXG 0311 XF? The XF, the 12 degree head. I've put a low launch shaft in it. Put something like the Link Gunmetal or the Kylie 60. Do I do something like that and have something that's super forgiving? So I don't know. That one I'm still kind of debating. That's probably going to be a game time decision tomorrow night when I go for the final bag. But those are kind of the two bags I'm bringing. And then I'm bringing two different bags. So I'm bust out the old Vessel staff bag, the Club Junkie staff bag. That's busted out. So I haven't used it yet this year. I'll use it now just because it's great when you're playing 36. You can stuff like a ton of crap in it. You can put the rain suit in there. You can put an extra shirt. You can put some, whatever. You can put stuff in there to hold on to it. Some liquid IVs, whatever you need, you can put in there. And then I'm going to bring one of the Moto Caddy cart bag that I have. That's kind of a waterproof bag. The dry, it's the Moto Caddy Dry Series cart bag. I'm gonna bring that just in case the weather looks like it could be nasty. I'll have a bag that all my stuff won't get crazy wet or anything like that. So those are the 2 bags I'm bringing. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, that's going to be my bag there. And then it'll just depend on how well I play. How well I play, what do I need to swap out. But I'm pretty excited to get down there and play. I'm going to make sure that in the morning I get up, get time, get to some breakfast, get on the range, hit a few balls. I know there's a handful of guys in our group who come rolling up to that first tee, with one shoe on, just trying to get out there and hit a ball. But excuse me, and then they know who they are. The handful of guys who are just always late. They're always trying to get there on time because they usually stayed up too late playing cards, hanging out, doing whatever they're doing. So it was. I'm the oldest guy in the group. I have kind of a good excuse to kind of go to bed early, and I'll get up early. Like I said, the one thing I do love about Garland, which we don't get the free breakfast anymore. They don't add that in, or at least with our package, they didn't add it in. But you can go buy breakfast. And I tell you what, having a place right on site, we can stop, get breakfast, even if it is the powdered eggs and some bacon and potatoes, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. It's still nice to get something, get your get a belly full, get out to the range, warm up, and then go play. So I'm gonna get that. Make sure I do that each day, and then I got a good amount of water as well. I bought a case of water from Costco, so I'll have that. Make sure that even if I'm having a beverage or two out on the course, that I bust out a water here and there as well. So I'll stuff a couple of those into the bag, and I'm thinking I should be all right. So got to remember to put on sunscreen. That's just my number one. I'm so bad with it. Got to get it on my face, the spray stuff or whatever. I did buy some of those UV sleeves off Amazon, and I wore those last year on the second day because I got fried on the first day. So I'm gonna have to remember to pack those as well, just in case. But yeah, we're excited to go, man. I've been finishing up, getting ready. Like I said, kind of finalizing my two bags, and then also trying to finish making all my ball markers. So every year I make ball markers for all the guys, all 16 of us. And I put everybody's initials on it, and I've got them painted. I got to clean up the paint fill, but this year I did, they're all double-sided, so it says what team you're on. So this year we got Team Jones, Team Cashner. I'm on Team Cashner, but we got this year, they're always double-sided. I went big this year, went to 1.5 inch. I did a set in aluminum for being silver, and then I did a set in bronze or brass that are a little more goldish color. It's a little different this year. The aluminum ones are cool. They look really cool because I've never done a silver one. They came out really nice. They're just really lightweight. So I don't know how people are going to like the pocket feel of having a super lightweight one. I don't use mine. I've kept every one of them in my little cabinet full of stuff that Tursky and I talked about on TG2. Last week he kind of went through he was actually in here in the studio in the basement and kind of went through all my stuff, and he's found some head covers, whatever stuff, and but that cabinet in there has got all my head covers or all my ball markers I made. This will be my 4th year, so the 4th one, and I've kept every one of them. I've never used them. Some guys do use them a lot, but then a bunch of guys have lost them. So one of these years I may have to do a reissue for a few guys because I know there's a few that are unfortunately missing. I was playing with my brother this year when he lost one of his. He was using it for just using it, and he lost it on the course somewhere. So one of these years I may have to go do them. But yeah, I just go on eBay. I buy they make just either brass or aluminum or copper disc blanks, and you got to look for the ones that are an 1/8 inch thick, and you can just buy them. I think they come in packs of 10 or 20 or something like that, and then I just stamp them. So just use my old stamping kits over there, stamp in whatever I want, and then paint fill them like usual. So I've got those just about done. I've got to run a quick kind of wire wheel on them just to get all the scratches and all that, so they got a uniform kind of brushed look. So as soon as I'm done with that, I'll finish paint filling the brass ones, and I'll be done. Those will be ready to go. So I've been working on those, getting those done. But yeah, the silver, the what do you call it? That one just went on the floor. Hopefully I find it. But yeah, they're just the silver ones here. And again, I haven't cleaned off the the paint fill yet. So, and for paint fill, a lot of people ask, like, oh, what do you use? And I'm like, I just use nail polish. It's super easy. I use nail polish on my clubs too. When I do paint fill on wedges, whatever, I just always use nail polish. I've never had a problem with it falling out. I know some people ask or said they've had it fall out. I mean, on the soles, if you put on the numbers in the soles, I've had it where after like a season or something, yeah, they get pretty beat up. But if it's on the back of a club, I've never had any come out. You can get it in any color under the sun. It has its own little brush already attached to it. You put in, you fill it up. You take some nail polish remover, wipe it over there, and wipe over it. Done, and then it dries in like 60 seconds or 5 minutes, whatever it is. It dries super quick, so a lot easier than working with paint personally. So I've been using nail polish ever since I started kind of modifying paint fill, which was probably back in like 05, 06. So I've been using I think I started out using some Testors model paint, and it worked great. I mean, Tester stuff works real awesome, but you had to use like paint thinner with it, and you had to clean out brushes or, use toothpicks or whatever, and it was just a pain, and then it took a while to dry, and so this stuff is just, it's way easier. So, and like I said, you can get any color under the sun if you want it. You just walk into your local Walgreens or CVS or something like that, and just walk over to the nail polish wall, and they've got pretty much any color you're going to want. So so I do that, and then, I'll hand those out as well. And then we get our usual, we get some of our swag, so that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, super excited to play in this thing. I'm slightly nervous about how I'm going to play. I haven't played well this year. I've had one good round, basically. So I'm a little nervous in terms of scoring points, but, it's a good time, no matter what. Even if you don't play well, I'm still going to have some fun. So excited for that. And I will head out super early Friday. Like I said, I kind of procrastinated with, usually I get a hotel room Thursday night. I drive up late Thursday, spend the night, and then get rolling. But this year I procrastinated. I didn't get a room in time, and I called the place where all the guys are staying up there who are playing on Thursday. They're fully booked, so SOL there. And so it looks like I'm riding up Friday, and that means I'll be out of my house about 5 a.m., and that should get me to the course just maybe a little after 5, but that'll get me to the course right around 9-ish. And then I'll be able to, first tee times 10, so 9 o'clock, be able to get out there, hit some balls, hit some putts, get a little loose from a 4-hour drive, and then it's on. It's time to roll. So, listen, super excited about that. I look forward to this thing every year. All the guys do. The trash talk in our big, in our email thread has been ramping up quite quite nicely. And it's just one of those things where I think it's one of those things where it's a great group of guys that everybody gets along. There's nobody who's just that there's nobody who just doesn't like anybody. And then the guys who run it, I mean they do such a good job. They take such pride in making it a cool event. And yeah, so it's gonna be a good time. So I'll be doing that Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'll be where I am. And then you'll hear next week the results, and I think the first year I went, I think on my show, I fully admitted that I got smoked, or at least lost to one of the guys in there. I haven't been running my mouth, at least on here or anything like that, to the point where I need to apologize or admit what I've done. So there's nothing yet, but we'll see. We'll see how the weekend unfolds. So I won the first 2 years. I lost last year. I'm hoping to get my name back on the trophy again this year. So. And yes, there's a trophy. We definitely get a trophy. I think I posted a picture like 2 years ago of me with the trophy that we won. But I want to get my name back on it. Had it first 2 years. Didn't have it last year. I want it back. So we'll try our best to get that done. And then today talk about something pretty interesting. Something I had a lot of fun with. So my equipment story of the day, or review, whatever you want to call it, is there's tons of custom stuff out there when it comes to clubs. There's tons of custom, Callaways, the TaylorMades, everybody. I mean, everybody offers some type of custom, and a lot of it now is that personalization where you can get your own colors and all that. And earlier in the year, I did my Stealth Plus. I did this one here. If you're watching on YouTube, if you go to Golf WRX Radio, if you search Golf WRX Radio, we have a YouTube channel for our podcast, and I do record this for that. But I did my Stealth Plus in kind of chalk and green and black with a gray face, and it ended up being a pretty cool driver. Like I was super impressed with how it came out. A lot of people have seen it and really liked it. I went with the gloss top with no TaylorMade, no alignment marker or anything like that. It's a pretty cool look. I went with kind of the green and chalk, green to throw back to the old Michigan State University where I was a weekend student and my wife is an alumni. All my friends basically went there as well, but did a pretty cool Sim Max or a Stealth Plus on there a while ago, and have been hitting this head really well. It's a 10.5 head, like I said, did chalk green and black. And I was sitting there, and they have now the My Spider GT. So the Spider GT series from TaylorMade, brand new. We've seen it on tour all over the place. It's a pretty cool look, pretty cool design. It's much more, I'm going to say much more high quality than some of the other Spiders in my opinion. The top of it is actually all aluminum instead of being some type of composite and painted or however it's done. Way nicer as anodized aluminum. Doesn't chip up near as easily. They don't look near as bad after a year or so of use. But they started up with the Spider GT. They started up the My Spider GT. So you could make your own Spider GT. And the cool thing is not just colors. It's not just tossing a couple colors and calling it a day. You get to pick your color, your alignment aid, your neck, and then, of course, all the colors. So I went through, and it took me forever to do this thing. And it does every time because I get, I get the go-ahead to create whatever I want. And then I go in there, and I literally play around things forever. And my ideas go from one thing to the next to one thing. I mean, it's just like back and forth with whatever I'm doing. I go through like every option and build stuff out that, from all black murdered out to crazy wild, every color under the sun. And I go everywhere in between. I was going to do a Lions kind of theme thing because I think the draft was right around when I ordered it or something like that. So I was going to do that, and then I didn't. And then it was just going back and forth. I was going to do a big green, like a green one, again, kind of that Michigan State theme. And I was like, no. And then my idea was, hey, why don't I do something to kind of match my Stealth Plus? So my Stealth Plus is all custom. It looks pretty cool. Why not do a putter to kind of match it? So I did kind of that, and we did the My Spider GT with some pretty cool. I tried to make it as close to my driver in a sense as possible. So I did the kind of black top with a single sight line. I like the long single sight line. And then I did the silver kind of fangs on the side, or the weights on the side. So it kind of has a little bit of that Stealth Plus or My Stealth Plus look to it. And then I did, of course, like everything else, green accents all over it, just like the driver. So kind of built it. I mean, even the face, I went with the gray face to kind of match the gray face of the driver. So just kind of went all out to make this thing kind of look as much like my driver as I could, which was pretty cool. It ended up being pretty awesome. Like I said, I put the little Golf WRX etching on the bottom as well. But yeah, everything's got a green and or white, markings to it. Like I said, the face I went with the kind of the gray, and it just turned out pretty cool. So the weights in the back, I don't know if I'll be able to get that on camera, but the weights in the back, all green and silver as well. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it's like I said, the hardest thing about it is going on there and finalizing what you want, because with it, like I said, the biggest thing, you can change the necks on it. So I went with the plumber's neck, or as they call it, the L neck. And the reason I was originally going to go with like the little slant neck, because that's the one I putted with out in the Kingdom when I first saw these back in November. But I went with the L neck because of I was putting really well with that Bat Attack from my PXG Bat Attack. That has it's a mallet with a plumber's neck. So I said, you know what, let's go with that route. I liked the look from a dress when I set that up, so I went with the plumber's neck on it, and then went with the black top, the black anodized top with the long sight line. There's two different sight lines. You can get a short one that goes about half the top, and then the full one that goes almost the full length of the top. Did that, and like I said, all the little silver and green paint fills and all that, and ended up looking really, really cool. So super impressed with how it came out. Again, I saw some of the original My Spiders and some of the others, and I don't want to say they look bad. The fit and finish wasn't as nice as it seems like this one is. The fit and finish on this is so much nicer. It really does look like something that you would just walk into the shop and buy. Like there's the finishing on it is just great. There's no crazy epoxies, messes or anything like that. The thing's just really well built, and it looks like it came off the rack. And then they also, on the engraving on the bottom, like I said, I just put kind of a little Golf WRX on the bottom there. That part's actually like lasered in. It's actually got a little bit of roughness to it when you feel it, but I think it's lasered in. I don't think it's CNC milled or CNC machined in. I think they lasered in there, which is pretty cool. And then paint filled it green. And then I went with the black. What do they call it? The fluted feel shaft. So I went with the black fluted feel shaft, all black, green to match the head, the green shaft band, and then stock actually came with the lambkin deep edge cord, which I was like, that is just awesome because these things have been so hard to find lately. But came stock with that, so I was like, great, let's just roll with the stock grip. And then, of course, to get into the putter or the head cover, which I know isn't necessarily everybody's thing, but they do a multicolor spider head cover where you get a bunch of multicolor spiders on it. And then on the back, it's just got the GT and the spider, so it's a pretty cool little cover. I think it matches the driver head cover with the multi-logo TaylorMade tees on it really well. But overall, it's just a really cool thing that you can do. Like if you're into a sports team or you want, something specific, especially in terms of a neck or a sight line or a combination that they don't make a retail, it's pretty cool that you can just go on there and order what you want. Now you do pay a little premium for it. I mean, as you would expect, I think. These things here are $420, so a little more expensive than the stock ones. And they do take a couple weeks to get there, but it wasn't bad. I think this was like 4 weeks, something like that. It was actually faster than I thought. When I did the original Sim 2 Max, when I did my original Sim 2 Max last year, that one took a lot longer. I felt like compared to this. This one came pretty quick. But overall, it's just, it's a pretty cool thing. You get down to the little rings in the rear weights. You can choose what color those are. That's how detailed you can get in terms of customizing it. And it's just really cool. So you can there's 4 different necks. So you can do they make a single bend, the little short slant neck. They make a flow neck, and then this plumber L neck. And it's interesting because the short slant and the flow neck, they look a little different at a dress. Like the slant neck, you see less of it. It's a small kind of like, nubbin that comes out of the club. The flow neck, you see a little more of it, but they both have the exact same, or they both have the same toe hang, or they're within 1 degree. So the short slant neck has 21 degrees of toe hang. The flow neck is 22, and then this L neck has 16, which I feel like is even less than 16. It's super, it's pretty close to face balance. There's not a whole lot of toe hang there, just a little bit, but that works for me because I've liked face balance putters, and then I've found that a little bit of toe hang on some of my putters I've putted really well with. So this is a good combination of both. And then 3 degrees of loft, 7-degree lie, all that stuff is customizable when you build this. But right-handed or left-handed, like I said, 4 different necks. Like I said, sight line, you can do a short line, which is like just not even half of the top on the crown. You can do a totally naked top with nothing on it. And then you can also do a single dot, like a little sight dot just at the top. So they give a couple options. I typically like the longer lines. It just makes it easier for me to line stuff up. But you have the option to go naked, which the naked ones are pretty cool, I do have to say. And then the hosel colors. So basically the hosel, if you pick one of the hosels there, it can be black or silver. I ended up going black. I thought about going silver to match kind of the wings on it, on the side. But then I said, you know what, I'm going to go black shaft, I'm going black top, let's just go black hosel and kind of make all that stuff flow. I think a silver would have stood out a little more. Not that I would have thought that would be distracting, but it would probably stand out just a little bit more. So I went with black. And then the top head color, they've got like, what is it, 1, 2, 4, they have 12 different colors. So you can go black, and they have red, silver, a darker like royal blue, and then an ice blue, like a Carolina type blue. Golds, pink, green, 2 different greens, a darker green, and then purple, lime green, orange, and kind of a brown, or they call it mocha. And I almost went mocha metallic gold. That was it was a pretty cool combo when I built it. I really thought going, one of those two. The mocha is kind of like a deep red, like really maroonish. And I thought about going something like that. But then, all the paint fill you can change. So like the sight line on mine, I mean, I could have made that a different color. I just ended up going white on that. But they've got some kind of stuff like golf ball yellow and all that. The wings, as they call them, only come in silver and black. I wish they did a couple more colors. I think it'd be kind of cool if they would have done like a chalk or something like that. The silver's pretty nice, but it would have been cool to see a few more colors on there or options just to have them. Like I said, if you wanted to make something like all blue or all red or whatever, the weights in the back can actually be two different colors. I was gonna go black on these just to contrast with the silver, but with the green rings, if it looked online like the green stood out more with the silver weights in the back, so that's why I went with those. But you could go black on that, and then the weight rings, they got a bunch of different colors there. So the interesting one, the face insert. So it's all the same face insert. So it's the Pure Roll 2. That's got I think it's got the aluminum bars in it, and then it's got like TPU urethane on top of it. Or underneath it, so it's aluminum bars on top of TPU. They all have that. You're not able to change that, but you can get either like an all black insert that's just all black. You can get like a white and red. You can get a lime green. They make a bunch of colors in it. I ended up going with, I think it was black and silver or black and gray, just to kind of match my Stealth Plus. And you see a little bit of it from a dress, nothing crazy. I think it's dark enough where it's fine. I think some people, if you want to go straight, all murdered out, you might go all black. I can definitely see where that would be kind of cool. But me, like I said, I wanted to make it kind of as close to my driver as I could possibly make it. And then the paint fill, like I said, as before, most of the colors are pretty much the same. They do throw in there, I think, a midnight blue and then a golf ball yellow, which is kind of like that Volt green Nike used to do. So the really neon green, they do that. I think they throw in a yellow. But you can go through that. And then, like I said, the personalization part, if you wanted to put, you can actually put two words on there. So each wing can have words on there, I think 16 characters each. I just went with the Golf WRX and the heel because, honestly, I tried to put Club Junkie on there, and they didn't like the word junkie for whatever reason. It wouldn't let me use the word junkie, so I tried to put Club Junkie on there. It wouldn't take it, so I said, "Heck with it. I'll just do Golf WRX," which is totally fine. And then putter shafts. There's the chrome fluted feel or the black. The black is not matte. It's kind of a glossy black, and it's got kind of a cool TaylorMade fluted feel. Kind of etching down on the shaft, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't think I'll be able to get you to see that, but it's kind of a nice look. It's kind of a nice little touch. And then, grip wise, tons of grip, tons of Super Stroke stuff. And then you have the Lambkin. It's basically all Super Stroke, and then a Lambkin deep edge cord, which is the one I got, or a Golf Pride pistol, which is kind of, it's not the Pingman version, or I can't remember what Golf Pride calls it, which is that really small, kind of thin one, no texture. This is the one that's got kind of a white little cap on it, and it's got little perforations in the rubber. So that's the other option. Then you have a ton of Super Stroke options. And then head cover, you can go kind of a slightly murdered out one, which is black with kind of gray spider lettering, and all the little spiders are woven in black. Or you can go the multicolor one, which I think is pretty cool. The multicolor one is pretty awesome. But the spider one, like I said, it would have black spiders, but they do the stitching in the middle of kind of like a off-white or grayish. So, an absolute ton of options. And then once you're done there, I think you can also do your length, all that you can adjust as well. So it's a pretty cool setup. Like I said, the quality on it, I know it's not cheap. I'll admit, $420 is not cheap, but the quality of it is really, really good. They did a nice job. Like I said, this thing looks like you would just walk into the store, buy it off the rack, and you wouldn't be able to tell any different. But you get kind of everything that you may want in this putter, which is pretty cool. So, this one here, like I said, did up. I putted with a little bit. It's actually a really good putter. I like the feel personally of the Pure Roll 2. I think that aluminum bars on it give it just a slightly firmer feel, a little bit more responsive feel, while still putting that typical pure roll roll on the ball. With it, you can definitely tell there's definitely the pure roll insert. There's definitely less skipping. There's less hopping. The ball just moves. It just gets some topspin and goes. I think there is something to it. I mean, I know there's always debate on, do these inserts really do anything? Especially the ones that are, promote these rolls. This thing, I mean, it seems to hop and skid less than any other putter I have that doesn't have any type of technology on the face. Stability-wise, it's really good. I mean, you can hit it off the toe, hit it off the heel. You can catch it pretty outside the center of the club face, and the putter head just wants to stay pointed towards the target. It really does. It doesn't really want to get offline very easily. I think these kind of wings on the back do add a ton of stability. There's like literally nothing in the middle of the putter. They actually kind of like hollow it out. So there's really nothing there, so there's no weight. It's all out on the outside and in the front. And it is pretty stable. I mean, if you hit a putt on the toe and on the heel, there's a good chance that ball's going to be pretty much still on line, pretty close. I mean, you'd have to miss it really far out on the toe, really far down on the heel to get that ball to really move off line too much. It really does go. And the distance control with these roll grooves is really good. I will say the first few putts, if you play on, depending on your greens, I thought it does come out just a little hotter than a standard face. I think because the roll happens immediately and it goes. They do tend to roll just maybe a hair bit further than a traditional putter, but it's not anything that you can't dial in pretty darn quickly. I was messing around with it on the putting green before I played with it the first time, and it was one of those. It wasn't a huge deal. It was pretty much hit a few putts, get used to it, and then go play. And overall, I like the shape. I like the look. I'm glad I went with the plumber's neck. I really like that look. Part of me is like, should I went with the slant? And there's always that kind of hindsight is 2020. But I like the L neck. I think it's got just enough toe hang to it where it fits my stroke pretty well. I don't think the slant neck would have been bad by any means. I think this is perfect. The face balance stuff I've just gotten away from a little bit. I still have one or two putters over there that are face balanced, but this one here, like I said, the stability on it's really good. The roll on it is phenomenal. There's not too much else to say other than it works really well. Like I said, it's got a soft feel to it. A little firmer than some of the pure TPU inserts. Those aluminum bars definitely give just a little more feel, a little more crispness to the shot without really being audibly a whole lot different. I mean, when you hit it, there's going to be very little sound. I mean, unless you're playing a really, really firm ball, there's going to be very little sound to it when it comes off, very little click. You're going to get kind of a minimal version of that. And like I said, the ball's going to get rolling immediately. In terms of lining it up, I think the single line for me works really well. That's what most of my putters have. It works well for me. I haven't gone on a crazy streak where I've just made everything with this putter yet, but it's one of those things where on an off day, I'm still getting the ball right around the hole. I'm rarely worried about kind of three putting or anything like that. You're getting the ball around the hole. You're getting it, in good spots. And as long as I read the putt right, I'm probably going to get it pretty close. Lag putts are pretty easy because it is, kind of a traditional length. I went 33 inches, which all of my other putters are. And with that, it's been really easy to get adjusted to and putt well with. The head weight, you could definitely tell it's lighter than my PXG, a little heavier than the Bettinardi BB8, so it kind of fits right in the middle there, and overall the feel of it's really, really good. So I've been really impressed with it. I think if it's something where you like that, having a little toe hang like a blade, but you want that stability of a mallet, I think this thing's a good option. I think it keeps balls on line well when you don't hit it in the center, but it still offers a little rotation. That toe wants to close a little bit during the stroke. This one, it's pretty minimal. The slant neck's got a little more when I used that back in November. It definitely has a little more, toe flow to it. It wants to kind of square the face up a little faster than this one. But overall, it's a really solid putter, and short putts, like I said, the really good roll, so it tend to make those pretty easily. And I mean, it's a solid putter, and being able to kind of make it however way you want it is pretty exciting and pretty fun. So I had a great time making it. I'm gonna put some pictures up on my Instagram, which if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. It's at Club Junkie Pod. I post a few clips of the show before it goes, or well, I guess after it goes out. But I posted a few reels and stuff like that, and I'll post some pictures of the putter, and especially next to the driver when they're both kind of designed very similarly. So, but like I said, at Club Junkie Pod, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, hit me up there as well, because that is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. And if you have suggestions, comments, anything like that, more than happy to hear them. I don't mind a little constructive criticism. But yeah, the My Spider GT is pretty cool. So check out. You go online on TaylorMade site. Go up to the customization, or go up to the clubs, and then under custom, there's personalization, and go mess around with. I mean, you can mess around with drivers. You can mess around with wedges. They pretty much do a custom version of almost everything. So you can go check that out and design, and you'll probably get lost in there for an hour messing around with different putter necks and colors and all that stuff, because that's pretty much what happened to me. So it was pretty fun. And then finally, you pull the trigger, you hit submit, you click purchase, and then you go, oh man, what if I did that? It's just like an ongoing battle until the putter shows up, and then it's just time to take it out and make some putts. So if you go to like I said, go to TaylorMade. Go to TaylorMade site. Just go to TaylorMadeGolf.com, and in the top, when you go to clubs, when you click on that drop down, or I'm sorry, instead of clubs, you go to custom, and then there's some personalized are the options. So you can see all the clubs that they personalize. You can change colors on and all that stuff, and it's pretty cool. So there's a lot of options there. And it was just a lot of fun to design my own putter. It's just fun to kind of do that and then take it out and play with it. So it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it, and it's been kind of in the rotation. It's kind of taken over kind of third spot from, well, it's like third, fourth spot. The Chicago from the 2 launch Chicago is pretty much out. This is taken over for that. So it's just in there with the rotation with everything else, which is pretty cool. So it's been a lot of fun. But all right, that's all I've got today. I know it's actually podcast went longer than I thought it would, but that's all I've got today. Wish me luck on my rounds this weekend. Hopefully I can put together a couple decent ones and maybe score a few points. And then hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully you're playing some golf. Again, follow me on Instagram at Club Junkie Pod. And then if you want to check out my ugly mug on video, YouTube, Golf 3X Radio, you'll see Tursky and I shows are on there all the time. So check it out. TG2 and Club Junkie both on there. You can see kind of all of our faces, and I try to put the clubs best I can in the video so you can see them. And but if you want to go that route. So anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. See ya.